got a question for you. I got a pretty, well, potentially deep question for you as we get into it. But when was the last time you wished for something? When was the last time you wished, like, oh, dude, I wish I could do that, man. I wish I could be better at this. I wish I could get whatever. When was the last time you sort of had an I wish statement? For me, it has kind of been a fucking while. Now I'm not talking about like an off the cuff, like, damn, I wish I won the lottery. So, it's just some random shit like that. I mean, like a legit, you're in deep kind of personal thought. You're like, fuck, dude. Man, I wish I was better at math. I keep failing. Whatever. Could be anything. I pretty distinctly remember when I was younger, I had to be like, I was like 13 at the time, maybe like 14 or so. I was doing gymnastics, which, if you're unaware, can get pretty fucking intense, especially for kids. I mean, to the point where it's honestly maybe a little bit too stressful of an environment for the guys that are like real national level. And the parents put a crazy amount of stress on. We were a little more chill. I never, if I was swinging around the bar and like fell off during my routine, I was gonna get like totally scolded. For some guys, that's not the case. But at the time, we were all okay. Everybody was pretty decent. We're all getting there. We're all learning all sorts of. They didn't call them tricks. They call them skills. Like if you do a double backflip on the spring floor, that's a skill. So we're all making pretty reasonable progress. But there was a couple guys who were really good. There's one older dude. His name was Connor. He actually like Junior Olympics, legit. Like this guy was national level and beyond. And he was a bit older than us. So it's like whatever. We're all kind of being run of the mill. And especially anytime we'd like do some kind of far off competition or whatever. Like one time we went to Vegas. Not like from special invite or anything, but people host these competitions just kind of all over. So kind of just as a fun trip for everybody, it was like a Vegas weekend. And of course, I'm like 14, you don't really get anything out of it. But, we saw some dudes that were seriously good, like leagues above our skill level. And I guess I really mean my skill level. So I'd remember fucking thinking like, man, I wish I could just fucking wake up and be like insane. I wish I could just wake up like crazy and be able to do every sort of fucking, flare on the pommel horse and, perfect giants on the ring, just like all sorts of shit. I was like, man, I wish I could just wake up and have all this skill just bestowed upon me. Now, of course, as a younger character, I had no idea what I was really thinking. That's not going to work. Wishing for it is not going to fucking work. And that's something which I didn't really realize until later on. It's like a performance, because that's kind of the point. If you do anything that's like a competition, the performance is that end goal. That needs to be backed up. Like if that performance is just this little tip of the pyramid, you need to back up wherever you want to be with that fucking massive support system underneath. So just randomly trying to pour energy and like, oh man, I wish I could be really good at this out of nowhere with no work involved. I just wish it could happen. You need to somehow pull yourself out of that fucking thought process, because that's not even anything. That's not grounded in reality. That's purely grounded in delusion. So really what I should have been thinking is like, man, I should try to make better adjustments every whatever. And like, it's been so long, I don't remember exactly what I was trying to learn back then. But it's all about that grind beforehand. And I don't mean like, oh, you need to be insanely locked in. But if you can just make and get excited about those momentary small progressions day by day, even if like just one day, whatever you're practicing, if you're lifting, if you just have one set or one whatever where you're like, holy crap, that was really good. That's a new baseline. Every time, and even in just the fucking world, but anytime you reach a certain level or you do something to a certain level of intensity that's above your normal, you have now desensitized yourself to what you're usually capable of, and that's your new bar. So it's like anytime there's a really crazy Olympic record that gets broken, any 10 seconds for the 100-meter dash, people used to think it was fucking impossible. And then now, any kind of, not any, but there's fucking, are there high school phenoms running sub-10s? I'm sure there's at least a few, right? Well, You get what I'm saying? So even though that's kind of how it works in kind of a grand scale, in a space race style situation, it's the same shit for your own mind. And that's what's going to lead, in the case of bodybuilding and just working out, your body to follow, So don't take it for granted. Every time you're locked in, every time you're in the zone, you play the perfect song, everything feels good, your forearms are fucking not bothering you at all, your elbow feels good even though it usually kind of has a little twinge. Make use of that and go extra hard, because that's gonna, in a way, essentially spoil you and make you demand more intensity over time. And this isn't a lot of the times in these videos I'm talking about, like, oh, you need to have this realization that you're not really bringing it. You need to demand more of every set that you're doing. Like, I say it a lot, but I'm not really thinking like that all the time. I'm just kind of looking back on a couple key sort of day by day, not even day by day, but just like certain days where I kind of think this stuff. Because changing your routine, getting into a different sort of mentality and approach with things, it's not like a light switch. It doesn't just happen like that. But it's not insanely linear either. I think it looks a little bit more like kind of a set of steps in a way. You start working out, you're doing your 6-day-a-week routine, you're tracking your macros maybe a little, you're at least tracking your protein. You're going to keep, that's a solid routine, keep doing that for months, right? So your baseline effort is like right here, and it's good, you're making gains. But eventually, I think you need to have some sort of event, some sort of just like, oh man, I'm not really, it was kind of a scrappy workout. I wasn't even bringing it. Oof. And that should be a little moment where your baseline effort is now spiked. And now it's a new normal. Let's say maybe you got a awesome night's rest. You were completely hydrated, slamming some electrolyte packets. You had enough food for the day. You feel pretty much as strong as you ever are gonna for this current state of your being. New lift. You just did 275 for 10 on flat bench. More pumped than you've ever been, to the point where you're surprised. Even something like that, oh, I want to replicate that feeling every lift. Boom, effort is increased. And that should just kind of go on from there. What really sucks is when I see, and like I don't look at somebody and think like, oh, that guy's not whatever. But just kind of imagining the scenario, because I know it happens. When I see somebody or think about somebody who has gotten to this baseline level of intensity and effort, like, okay, I'm working out, tracking my protein a little bit, I'm like getting a Fairlife every 2 days, or I'm starting to eat 3 eggs in the morning instead of 2, or just whatever. They're on track to something, and they definitely want serious results at the end of it, but their baseline effort just stays down here, and that's going to reflect in the results. And it kind of sucks, because a lack of results can be both motivating and demotivating. For somebody who really wants it, they're going to think, oh crap, I'm doing something wrong, or I'm not doing enough. I need to get into this a little bit more. I need to start training way harder. But for somebody who may not be so, I kind of want to say proud, might think like, oh fuck, well, I guess this is my limit. Even though the tank of intensity that they can use is this big, and they're only down here. So that's maybe getting a little bit too deep for some of your likings there. But all that is to really just say, if you want crazier gains, you kind of have to be a lifter that's working hard enough to get those gains. And if not, then how bad do you really want it? Everything's kind of a balance of like, okay, do I want bigger biceps? Yes, check mark. Do I want a bigger chest? Same answer. Let's just say, above all, I want a bigger everything. Ooh. Do I want to go to the gym like fucking almost every day, track all my macros, carry a fucking jug of water around? I don't know. But it's like, that's just the fucking cost, man. It takes what it takes. That's a really good way of putting it. But enough yapping. I'm getting extra hyped just because I know I'm about to play some my Spotify weekly, Discover Weekly. Hopefully there's something good in there. But let's just jump into the first set of triceps, whatever that ends up being. Let's keep it simple. rope push downs, and then once the set's over and I take a second, do a set of straight bar seated cable curls. And I think I'll just go back and forth for as long as it feels good. I kind of want to, well, for one thing, I want to do kind of a supersetting kind of workout. Maybe not superset, more like just alternating set, so my arms are fully pumped at the end of it. But don't be afraid of keeping it simple. Some of my best back days, or what am I saying? Some of my best bicep pumps, it hasn't been from doing preachers, spider curls, cable curls, concentration curls, fucking double bicep like cable curls where you do them up here like this. I just camped out in front of the dumbbells and just fucking worked my way down from like the 70s to the 50s as long as I got fatigued and stayed within a reasonable rep range. Your effort is going to beat your exercise selection, I think. Okay. Oh. All right. Let's pop a squat. Move this cable down and get us to the curls going. But I can foresee sitting here for fucking 4 back and forths, as long as I'm getting gradually more pumped and fatigued. Okay. All right. Back to push downs. Okay. Okay. Next bicep movement, I'm going to change gears. Same seat, same cable, but a little bit different style. Back to push downs. Yeah. Okay. All right, plan is some underhanded straight bar bicep bias pull downs. And as fancy as that sounds, if you do a fucking zoom in and enhance on what my arm is doing, it's just a regular curl, right? Even though it looks like this, I'm not trying to use my lats, I'm not using my traps or anything else. I'm purely trying to pull with my biceps. And it's kind of hard to see. It's not like my biceps glow red when they're flexing, but this is a good addition. And it's just crazy different. I mean, the squeeze and kind of the strength curve is so much different than a regular curl. I like to throw this in at least a few times every lift, or every few. Come on. There we go. Okay. I can tell I was starting to use some lats, but back to back to the rope for one more. Let's grab the 100-pound easy bar curl, and this is going to be a 2-portion set. Want them nice and strong. Hold the squeeze. Slow eccentric. Okay. Pretty well executed reps. But once I get fatigued enough, I'm not just going to say, "Oh, I can't do a perfect rep anymore. Let's rack it." I'm not there yet, man. Dude, forcing out a couple extra reps, I see some serious benefit. And it's kind of just like, use some logic, right? A good set is going to be a hard set. So if you make all your sets extra hard, all of them I think are going to be pretty good. Not a terrible mental approach, I feel. Oh shit, let me turn this up. Okay. I'll come back to this exact way. Let's switch from the rope to a straight bar. Back to curls. This has the potential for being the last set. No, one more triceps. Okay. Oh man. Whew. Yes, almost lost my balance. One more set of triceps. Then I think arms are done. All right, let's get some single arm push downs done. 5 reps on the right, 5 on the left. Repeat until triceps are as full of blood as I can manage to get them. Let's get some flexing action going. There we go. Arms fully fucking pumped. Honestly, I don't think I want to do another alternating workout like this one again. And not because like it was like terrible or anything, but it's almost like I'm like, it's crazy to say this, but it's like I'm getting too pumped too quickly. And like having so much blood in my biceps and this whole area all at once is kind of taken away from my ability to seriously like wreck my triceps. Now biceps feel fine while doing them with a tricep pump, but doing the push downs with my biceps kind of pumped up, I think that was a little bit of a mistake. But not all negative, because now I know, oh, let's just keep it simple and keep doing it the same way that I have been, all triceps, all biceps. So still a good lift. Let's see the pump that resulted. Oh, come on. All right. Arm pumps, especially arms and back, are becoming the trickiest ones to remove the pump cover and fucking get a good glimpse of. Might need to start wearing like tearaway shirts so I can just rip the fucker off right when the lift is over. Oh, holy crap, dude. My triceps are fucking burning right in here. This longer, kind of thicker portion on the underside, which is a good sign for me. That's the part of my tricep that I'm really trying to thicken up. And that's not my own choice. That's what gives your tricep way more fucking mass and lets it like hang down underneath your arm. Like this, the short head up here, of course it's cool, adds like some extra definition, but the part of your tricep that's really gonna fucking, let's just say blow up your arms is your long head. And it's kind of tricky to isolate. I mean, your tricep all ties into one tendon in here. So some people will argue you can't even isolate any muscle since it only has one tendon connection. So they're all doing the same sort of thing. I wouldn't agree with that. When I do certain sets of rope or single arm or dips, I can definitely feel my long head activating extra hard. And if you can take it a step further and like manually try to really squeeze it, almost like pulling your arm backwards with a rope, or same thing with like a dip, even fucking better. But let's scram. Arms complete. Very nice. Now my only responsibility is don't back into anybody. I've come close. I have come close. Everybody knows about that. Everyone knows the abrupt braking when you think you might get a little bit too close to somebody behind you in the parking lot. Or maybe you don't. I'm just trying to make myself feel better about it. But either way, arms are fatigued in such a way that I think when I go home and slam some fucking calories, that those calories will be well used. They will be well freaking utilized for the purpose of tricep enlargement as well as bicep engorgement. What do you think? I don't think that's the right word, but whatever. So let's see what other updates are there that I haven't covered so far. 260 has officially fallen. Right now I'm floating around that 265, 266 pound morning weight range, which does make me feel pretty damn good about this bulking phase. So hopefully by October, dude, what the I gotta be carb depleted right now. I can't remember my months. August, September, October. Yeah. Hopefully by mid-October, 270 will be the new 250. Or 270 will be the new 260. So I'll be floating in the, in that mid 270 to 275 kind of pound range. But that's not specifically the point. The point isn't necessarily hit this specific weight goal. It's really just get heavier, consistently gain weight, which as long as I'm doing that, good for me, yippee. Now, something to be noted for anybody curious about bulking, yes, no brainer, and unfortunately, a hard truth for some to swallow, there is some fat gain that is going to go along with that. It can't be avoided, right? But don't make yourself suffer more than necessary by losing your mind about it. It's whatever. It's just the nature of things. So if you're going to get a little bit soft or a little bit softer for the sake of an extra however many pounds of muscle growth, now sure, you're going to have to fuck, I missed my turn. But sure, you're going to have to deal with that later on. You're going to have to peel it off in a little bit of a dieting phase. But that's the fun bit, man. That's the sort of challenge. If you're not, and it's very strange. Like I'll see videos where people are, they'll kind of dog anybody really trying to diet down because dieting is uncomfortable. You're fucking hungry, not in like a real way, but in a sense, you are kind of starving yourself because you want to eat more food. You got a fucking biological urge to say, dude, get some more food in your system, man. You're fucking hungry. And you're kind of fighting that for the larger purpose of getting leaner. But that's not always a bad thing. Of course, anything taken to the extreme is often too fucking extreme, and it's gone too far. But for the most part, anybody that's trying to diet down for the sake of being leaner, potentially just getting to a healthier level of body fat, that is sick. And sure, yeah, it's going to be hard, but the benefits afterward, maybe not innumerable. You're not going to get a check for $1 zillion just because you lost 20 pounds of body fat this summer, but you are leaner. You are fucking leaner, and I can't sell it any more than that. So, what has the meals been looking like? You're gonna find out. You're gonna find out tomorrow. God damn it! Let's make it happen. Hold me to it. Full day of eating coming tomorrow. So, not to well, I guess let's not spoil it. Let's not even spoil it for you. But yeah, that's gonna happen. No doubt about it. Promise. So get excited for it. That's all I can say there. But I'm running out of fucking things to say. I'm running low on carbs right now. I wish I had like a little bag of sweets or something. Post-workout is sort of the best time in my mind to actually have any kind of sugar, just because you have put yourself in pretty much a need for glycogen. And what's glycogen? Fucking carbs and water. And what's going to digest faster than a simpler carb, like from some sweets? So if you're ever if you ever have a little bit of a hankering for some kind of sugary something or other, post-workout is often a good move. Because, if you time it, you're going to get a pretty reasonably large insulin spike. Because after a workout, your baseline blood sugar level is going to be a little bit depleted. So, not to mention the fact that your actual, glycogen stores will also be a touch lower as well. Damn, what's this fucking cone doing here? There we go. But all that's to say, after a workout, you're going to burn a pretty serious amount of carbs. So once it's over, have some sweets. Nothing too crazy, of course. Sweets within moderation. But I'm just rambling at this point. I need to go home and fucking eat something. So I'll see you tomorrow for a nasty leg day as well. I'm getting excited for some more leg press. That felt really good 3 days ago. So let's run it back with potentially a little bit of higher weight, and definitely higher intensity. I want to hit real failure on that leg press. So I think I'm going to get 2 guys to spot me. So I'll have them. I'll just say, don't touch it until I really tell you. Actually, see if I can hit real failure, and then once I do, get some help and not get smushed. So I'll see you then.